What's going on? Happy Friday. It's another Tax Tip Friday, y'all, where we answer tax questions, financial questions, and business questions on this Friday, right? So if you got a question, leave it and we'll answer it. What's happening, y'all? It's another episode. This is Dr. Blackwell, one of your co-hosts. And we got...
the girl, Miss Fat Financial.
The one, the only.
Checking in for this tax.
Should be an announcer.
Talk Friday.
Here we're dribbling down the court announcement.
All right, so our next text question we're gonna try to fit in two,
right?
And so, it's the young entrepreneur.
2 in 1 episode or two?
2 in 1 episode. I don't know. We'll have to check with the team.
One.
Producer
say
team
one.
said one. All right. So, young business owner that is making money, right? Uh-huh. And he's young in his business.
Okay.
And he wants to be smart. Okay. He wants some advice about putting money aside for taxes and for growth.
Okay, so we got a young business owner making money in his business. Mm-hmm. He's trying to figure out to put money aside for taxes and growth.
Right.
Okay.
Great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is quite. These are always financial people. It depends. That's my number one answer to all questions. It depends, right? So, if we're a young entrepreneur, we're making money, we're trying to figure out money for growth and money for taxes. Mm-hmm. The thing that you should do is if I were you, I would split my money 3 ways essentially, right? So I would hone in on making sure we will put 10% away, mm-hmm. probably for each one of those things. Mm-hmm. 10 to 15% away for taxes, 10 to 15% away for investing in growth. Mm-hmm. And the way I would do it will be based off of how you make money. Mm-hmm. So whether you want to do it per sale or per income per month, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. That's the way I would do it. Now, some people, I'm not a huge fan on like paying estimated taxes, but what I discovered was
pay your taxes. It's like layaway.
Right.
The community is very familiar with layaway. It's a concept that we are familiar with.
Right, but go
ahead and pay your taxes on layaway.
Right, I'm not a huge fan of it.
I am. Especially but as if you have a budgeting money management problem.
For sure.
I think.
For sure. I mean, I'm not a fan of it. However, as a professional, I don't give advice that's biased in that way. Yeah. Because number one is law. Like if you come up and you owe regularly, the IRS is going to hit you with a penalty because you wasn't paying taxes quarterly, mm-hmm. which I really kind of discovered that was a thing. Mm-hmm. But secondly, it depends on the type of person you are. That's why I opened up the thing and said it depends, right? Because if you're the type of person, if we save money and you can keep money saved without tapping into it, right, then, we want to make sure we save money in those good ways. But what happens is at the end of the year, if we owe taxes, right, and let's say we got a 10 to $15 in the insurance world, we got a 10 to 15 percent yearly lump sum saved up, right?
For sure.
Let's say you got, 20 grand saved up for taxes. You're like, hey, this is going to cover federal and state. Well, when it comes down to it, based off whatever tax deductions you might qualify, things you probably didn't think that you need or whatever. And let's just say you only owe $5,000. Well, now you got you got a good $15,000 bonus. For sure. That you can either use that money to your second pot for investing, right? Or for yourself, right? Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how I like my little carrot at the end of it's a not double-edged sword, but just like so it can serve 2 purposes.
No. I agree. Yeah. I think that's a strategy that I definitely employ to my business owners. Yeah. Definitely, do a monthly or quarterly. Yeah. Or like you said, per sale. Per sale is difficult, so I say monthly, right?
Monthly, yeah.
Every month you could look at how much you made and say, okay, I'm going to put 15% away. Yeah. For taxes, and that includes your state and your federal, depending on what state you're in. Yeah. And like you said, at the end of the year, you should have a nice pot. You could put it in a high yield savings. You could put it in a money market account. You can put it in something.
I definitely would, right? especially the money that you want for growth, because we're saving two different piles. We're saving one for taxes, one for growth.
Sure.
The one for growth, I would definitely put it in a high yield savings somewhere. That's somebody that's saving 4 to 5%. You can, it's many of them out there. Goldman Sachs got one, right? And I would keep it there.
Yeah.
Some type of brokerage account that you can you can get access to fast.
For sure. That's the high yield savings is good. Nothing long term, because it's a short term savings goal, right? You're not like, okay, in 10 years, this is what you're doing. You're like, hey, I want to be able to scale by for investment, people, marketing dollars, next year sometime, whatever that is. So money market, high yield savings, put your money in there. Two separate accounts. At the end of the year, you should have two buckets, one to pay taxes for, and one you're like, I was able to save this amount of money, right? And so it's definitely being deliberate and intentional about your taxes and about the future of your business. Yeah. And I think if you're really about growing and scaling, you want to definitely put money away for tomorrow. Yeah. For your taxes and for the growth of your business. Just like you said, after those expenses come off, you should have a little bit something extra, because you're putting money away based on the gross, right? The gross of your monthly income.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a good habit as a young entrepreneur to start early. Yes. Take it from me, from not only advice, but experience.
Yeah. Nobody wants to cut the IRS a check for 30, 40, 50 grand that you didn't even anticipate. I know. That you didn't even anticipate.
Oh, my God. Don't get me started. I don't want to pay no taxes. But think about it though. There are people out there. You have to think about your level, because there's people out there who make money, pay more taxes quarterly than you might be even making in a year, right? So it's just about perspective, right?
And think about people who are in a W-2 job. They are paying their taxes just out of their paycheck, right? So if you're making $100 grand. They're paying that 30 grand. It's coming. Right. It's coming out of the check.
Right. That's who should keep paying the taxes.
You know what?
Keep them over there. Keep them over there, y'all. But good question though. So young entrepreneur, we want to know how to save money for taxes and growth. Yeah. And I like the fact that you're thinking about growth because, right, like Warren Buffett said it best, I thought, any amount of profit is better than no profit. Mm-hmm. And a lot of us don't really think about that until this last minute. We're trying to get something. We're trying to grow our company. We're trying to scale. But if you can profit $1, that's better than you going zero or negative. Mm-hmm. And so making sure that you kind of manage that piece for growth, so you can have money to invest, reinvest in yourself, in your business, right? And keeping cash is really the thing, right? When you look at Warren Buffett, he got like $240 billion in cash. Is important. For him to get ready to buy. So a lot of people don't hold cash. I'm like, you need it. Why not? Do. So in order for you to accumulate it, right, you really need it. You don't want to, and it's not, you have to be delicate with it, because credit is also good for sure. You want to make sure you manage credit and all that stuff. But you just don't want to be in a position where your only option is that you have to leverage the bank. For sure. Right. And so when you get to those positions, that's when, business kind of funnel. I kind of digress because I needed to hit 8 minutes, but make sure that I hope we answered your question. Yeah. And it was a really good question. That's a really good question. Hopefully it helps somebody. And don't forget to share, subscribe, whatever tax question you guys want us to answer. Put it in the chat, or DM us, and we'll get it answered on our Friday sessions, y'all. So we'll see y'all next Friday. Peace.